That problem solving, if you have or if you don't have, you will understand only when you start doing things on your own, when you start getting your hands dirty. So you'll come to know, okay, if this is our final outcome, so this is how I can proceed to get the better outcome. There are multiple ways of reaching the final output, but is your way efficient enough? Are you using the minimum resources and giving us maximum output? That is what keeps you aside with your competitors. People learn the skills, and the problem is they're not getting any jobs and they feel like market is down. So I would like to assure everybody that market is not down. Market is just a bit slow, and they are just a bit skeptic that okay, people who are coming, are they good products or not? Because you know the skills, and even your neighbor know the skills. So what is the thing that you know extra? So that decide whether you get a call or not. If you're putting these keywords, your profile will be shortlisted very fast. Once your profile is shortlisted, you get calls straight away. Like I got around, out of 9 attempts, I got 3 calls from LinkedIn. There are many people which I come across on LinkedIn, and they say that bhaiya, we are having year gap. Like we graduated some years before, and till now we didn't do anything. We wasted our years on UPSC preparation or government jobs, etc. But one small piece of advice is, see guys, there is nothing waste in this life. Whatever you do in your life is actually your experience. When you move backward, you will find that everything is falling into place perfectly. So don't lose hope. Have faith in yourself. Keep working, keep churning yourself. Okay, your day will come. Just don't lose hope.
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We hope you all are doing well. We are thrilled to be back with another exciting video. This one is particularly valuable for those who are considering a career in data analytics but might not have a background in computer science or coding. So be sure to watch this video till the end. And before we dive in, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. This way you will be notified whenever we release our new videos. Now on to the today's session. We are honored to have a special guest with us, Amman. Amman is a seasoned professional in the analytics industry, currently working as a data analyst. In this insightful discussion, he will be sharing his remarkable journey with us, from graduating as a mechanical engineer to venturing into the realm of data analytics, different career options a person can have, and how did he develop the data analytics skills. He will also be sharing some real world use cases with us, and some skill sets someone should have to become a data analyst, and how can someone move into the data analyst role without having any prior career knowledge. Okay, cool. So without further ado, let's dive into the enlightening session. Hi, Amandeep. Welcome to this session. We'll start with you describing your journey. So can you just maybe tell us how was your journey post graduating from mechanical engineer, and now that you're pursuing a career in analytics? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Shivani, for calling me into your podcast, and I'm thrilled to be part of this. And I was a graduate. I belong to Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, and I have a defense background. My father is in Indian Navy, working currently, and I've been a mechanical engineer in 2015, and thereafter I also did my MBA in finance, and along with that I was a private tutor, you can call it as freelance tutor, and during 2019 I came across this data analytics industry. So slowly I developed this love toward this field, because there is a short story which I'll be telling you in a while, and based on that I developed this interest, and finally after learning some few skills and mastering them, I'm here in front of you as a data analyst.
Okay, cool. So you graduated in mechanical engineering. Now you are a professional working in data analytics industry. So can you just quickly tell us, like, how did you develop these skills?
Yeah, sure. So I don't belong to computer background actually. So I believe many of us watching us can relate us, because I'm totally from non-IT background. I had biology in my 12th, and thereafter I had dream of becoming a doctor in armed forces, and I could not become due to some reasons. And thereafter I did engineering in mechanical, and in mechanical also, like, I studied computer only for a semester, and thereafter there was no computer in my whole life. But coming into this industry, people might feel like it's totally different. How can survive? But it's not like that. I believe like if you have an interest, you can come to this IT field. So same thing happened with me. So I started with learning basic Excel, which I believe nowadays everybody knows that. So I would like to tell viewers here that 90% of the industry is still working on Excel, and it is not the easy Excel, normal Excel. It's actually the advanced Excel. So once I started mastering that, I thereafter I moved on to database language, that is SQL. And after mastering these two things, I started also learning Python language, which is a very versatile language and easy also. So after learning these two, I was just probably searching like what else I can do, how better I can make myself. And like on a YouTube channel or some YouTube video, if I'm recalling it better, I found this that one has to also do course, or you can say should have a skill of visualization too. So during my time, and not even my time, still only two tools are there which are having competitive edge in the market. That is either Power BI or the Tableau. So like people who are watching us, based on their interest, they can select this. But I preferred Power BI. So like there is only one reason, because it's a bit easier than Tableau. Otherwise, the functionality is another thing the same. So after getting these three basic skills, I also started learning statistics for data science, which is actually, I would call it as backbone of this industry. If people know all the skills and they don't know statistics, it will be very difficult to survive. So after mastering these four skills, I made a good resume, and I gave so many interviews, so many field interviews, and finally succeeded.
Okay. So, you started with Excel, right? And then you moved into advanced Excel, and then you started with SQL, and then Power BI, right? And then you also started with statistics, and you're currently also learning a lot about it. So, you did all of this on your own. You did not take anyone's help. Was it just YouTube that you studied all of this from?
It was not alone the YouTube actually. Initial phase was on YouTube. It was the year 2019 end, if I'm not wrong. And that time there was not much content on YouTube. But now, if you search on YouTube, I believe every second video will be on data analytics. So there is a lot more resource right now. That time I just studied Excel from YouTube, and there was no much resource about other skills which I mentioned earlier. So soon after that, I came to know about an institute in Hyderabad. So I just contacted them, like how can I get into this field, what else I can do. So you can call it as a kind of coaching institute. So I joined that institute, and thereafter all the skills which I just told just now, I learned there only. Only thing is the practicing part of it, I did on my own, and by taking help from YouTube. That's it. So this is what I did in a nutshell. But if you say like if you did on your own, it will be wrong, because there was a good institute behind me.
Okay. So basically, Aman, what you're saying is that people can start learning from YouTube, but to be
Exactly.
consistent at it and to be actually able to do a lot of things and to be able to understand it into at a deeper level, you will always need someone's help, right? And that is why these bootcamps, these online bootcamps and coaching institutes play a huge role if you want to actually learn something which can be applied at the industry level, right? And that is what
absolutely right.
So that is what I'm guessing which happened in your case as well. You started with your own, you were interested in it, but then you got in touch with a coaching institute based out of Hyderabad, and then you started your journey, and then you got really better at it, right?
Exactly. Actually, the initial discovery was done by one of my friend, and it was during the first lockdown of COVID. And I was just thinking like, what else I can do in life. So he told me that this is an industry where people are making into, and it's not that much popular in India that time, but it will have a huge scope in India for the next 50-55 years. So but I was really skeptic about, because like I'm not from computer. So I was thinking like whether I'll be able to make it. Even if I will be able to make it, will I be able to survive? So these questions were there. So just to address this question, I joined this institute because I knew that okay, from my own I can't do. I can do up to some level, but at some point of time, even the greatest of men on the earth needs a guru. So that institutes will help you in that.
Definitely. I think institutes play a great role in that, because the kind of support that you get from them while solving all the doubts that you have, it helps a long way. Correct. So, Aman, like you mentioned, in this data analytics industry, the major tools that are used by data analytics professionals are SQL, Excel, and Power BI, or maybe Tableau only. So, can you maybe tell us what sort of case studies do you guys really work on? Like, what kind of problem statements are you solving for the companies that have hired you?
Yeah, sure. Shivani, see, actually, people who will be learning this skills or will be working on project, they'll not be able to deal with the real-time data. So currently what we are doing is, based on that experience, I can tell you one thing, that 80% of your time will go into cleaning of the data. Getting the right data and cleaning of the data is actually the base of this industry. Let's say you have some data, but that data is wrong and you have cleaned it in a wrong way. So obviously the end result will be wrong. So there only you go wrong. So whoever is watching us, I would like to tell them that they should mainly focus on how to get the right data, how to clean it in the right way. So there is a terminology called ETL, extract, transform, and load. So these are actually process, and based on this process, we have many tools also, like Alteryx is there. You have Talent software. You have many more. Based on the industry needs, you can learn them. But I would suggest people to start getting the data into Python and start cleaning it based on the statistical knowledge that they have gained, because statistics plays a major role. So that is what I'm doing in my industry right now. So in the initial 2 months, I was assigned dashboard task. I was doing the internal company's dashboards, and I was also helping on clients' dashboard updating of those dashboard, if at all making some changes. But right now we are working on some client data, and that data itself is of 1 TB. So just imagine the huge amount of data it is having. So getting that data, ingesting that data, and finally to clean it is actually the biggest task. So last 2 months we have been cleaning that data, and like mostly by August 15 or something we'll be able to do that, and thereafter the actual analytical process will start, like getting into Power BI or getting into Tableau or in Python, and then working on that. So this is the, I would call it as 80 to 90% of the task that we people are doing, and thereafter it is just your specializations. Let's say you are a visual expert, you'll be start making visuals. If you are a database expert, you'll be making tables and cleaning the data inside databases. So this is what the task is.
Okay, cool. So Aman, you mentioned that so far you have been just cleaning the data because it is in huge amount, and apart from this, what I would like to understand, as far as I can see, like if you tell me a data analyst role, most probably it will involve analyzing a lot of data and then making some sense out of it and taking some insightful decisions from that, right? So can you also tell us what role does problem solving ability also play in this whole thing? Because I know you guys are analyzing the data and also making some decisions out of it, but how big of a role does problem solving ability also play in this? Does the business also share that aspect with you, what is the exact problem that we're trying to solve, or do you guys just deal with analyzing the data and then also making sense out of it?
Yeah, exactly, Shivani. See, the word that you said, problem solving, is like actually from the word people find it as a kind of skill which we can gain, but I would take it as a soft skill which is either there in you or is it not there with you. But the best part of it is you can develop if you don't have these skills. So it's a kind of soft technical skill which interviewer or the HR expects you. They will give you some questions like scenario based, and they check whether you have this or not. So how am I using this in my industry? I'll tell you. See, I'll give you an example here. Like the data was like past 1 year. client which we are working with, they have last 1 year's data and it is somewhere around 1 TB. So their main solution they need is they need the entire data to be moved from one source to the cloud source. Okay, I'll not be able to leak the source right now due to compliance, but the thing is, this movement actually is the problem. So how do you deal with that problem is actually problem solving here. So here what I did, and with my team what I did is we sat, pen and paper, and then that's it. We made a plan, like, okay, if this is how, if we go, will this work? We tried that, okay, that failed, okay, we have a plan B. So this is how your problem solving ability will come and it will grow. That is what I would say to the viewers here, that problem solving, if you have or if you don't have, you will understand only when you start doing things on your own, when you start getting your hands dirty. So you'll come to know, okay, if this is our final outcome, so this is how I can proceed to get the better outcome. There are multiple ways of reaching the final output, but is your way efficient enough? Are you using the minimum resources and giving us maximum output? That is what keeps you aside with your competitors. So that's what, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying as much as analysis skills play a role in being a really good analyst, problem solving ability is also something which companies are highly looking for. So, Aman, you got placed as a data analyst in this company. This company is based out of Hyderabad, right?
Yes.
Right. So can you maybe like tell us a little bit about your interview experience? Like how did you crack this company? And like you mentioned, problem solving ability is something which companies are also looking for. So how do they judge this aspect in anyone during the interview process? You can tell us.
Yeah. So after completing of my course, as I said, it was around 5th month when I started getting calls. But the problem that I was facing was very typical problem, which I believe everybody who is watching us might be facing in future or might be facing now. My issue was like a typical Indian mentality. Like if we know some rosy words, fancy words, we'll put that into the resume, and we believe that we'll crack the interview. But that is not actually the thing. It's totally opposite. It's like presenting yourself in front of interviewer based on your resume. So like before you go into the interview hall, your resume gets in. So what you write is actually the projection of you. So if you write some rosy word, they will feel like, okay, so and so candidate is having those skills, and they start interviewing you on that. And once you don't answer that, you fall short. So that is what happened with me. I'll tell you very typical experience. What I faced was, as I said, I know Python, I know SQL, I know these things. So there are multi things which are related to this. Like I'll tell you, if you're really good at Python, you can also develop your machine learning skills. You can develop your AI skills, deep learning skills. Okay, that's a separate way of into data science right now. So, but I was not that good. I'll be very honest. Still, after so many months of experience in this industry, I'm still a intermediate kind of person in Python, because I'm actually a visualizer as a whole. So, but in my resume, I wrote that Python was my top skill, and number 2, I wrote machine learning. So, like interviewer were really impressed. Like, okay, fine, this person knows Python, machine learning, so let's start interviewing him on this. So, whichever interview I faced, I was typically getting the coding questions to be done. And the problem comes there, since that is not my strong skill. I faced challenges there. I could solve up to a bit, and thereafter I just raised my hand. I said, no, sir, I could not do this. So this was the reason I failed so many interviews, and I cleared the interview on my 9th attempt. And the only reason was I changed the resume. I wrote the skill that I was strong into, and I removed totally the skills which I'm not even knowing it. So this is the key factor.
Okay, so I guess, guys, you should also take into this consideration that being honest is the only way you can get a good job, right? Because otherwise, if you just put up projects which you haven't really done, or you don't understand languages that you've just written there, they will find it out. And if they ask you questions around it, then they will find out that you have just written it and you don't really know much about it, and then you will not be selected, right? So I think being honest is the only way out of it. You just write whatever you know and hope for the best. Okay, cool, Aman. ठीक है. So, like you mentioned, problem solving skills is something which the companies are also looking for. So, Aman, now that we have discussed the kind of tools that you guys are working on, and also there is a problem solving ability that companies are looking for, but still, if you just have to mention some skill set that a person should already have to pursue a career in data analytics, what would that be?
Okay, so I would name some few skills, and before that, the basic common thing that I would mention here will be the interest into this field. So, see, Shivani, the problem of our Indian mindset is we have that herd mentality. Like if we see people going into some direction, we also blindly start following that. I would request people who are watching us not to do that. See, because you are not going into this field just to earn money or something. You are going into this field to stay there for at least for the next 20-25 years. And for that, your interest is the key factor. Like if you don't have interest into IT field, then you can't make it big into this. So there are there are many more things that you can do. Not only data science, there are web development courses, there are full stack developer courses, there are UI graphic designing courses. All these are under IT industry only. So the first step that a person has to do is to identify his interest. Okay, coming to the second thing, once he has identified that okay, data science is my thing, then I would ask that person to first explore himself, because right from starting, if you start exploring, you will get interest into this. Once you get that interest, it is very easy to learn the skills at a rapid pace instead of asking someone else to help you and someone else to teach you. So that is what happened with me. Since I learned Excel on my own, I knew that I had that confidence behind my mind that okay, fine, if I can do these things on my own, I can do other things also if someone helps me. So that was number 2. And thereafter I will tell you the skill set and the order of skill set. That is how they have to go in. The first one and the basic one will be the Excel thing. So everybody nowadays, they know basic Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel things. So I would like them to know much more advanced. Like you can go into advanced Excel, you will have many more resources to learn from. You start developing those skills, you start applying those skills, not only learning. If you're not applying those skills, it is of no use. So once you start applying those skills, that you can write it in a resume as well. So after advanced Excel, you can go ahead with some database language, or if you're very good at coding, you can go ahead with Python. So either SQL or with Python. Once you do these things, along with that, you can also start understanding the statistics part of it. And these statistics is nothing but what you have learned in your 10th and 11th. So nothing more on that, but these are some basic things which you should know. And over that, whatever extra knowledge you have, that is better. So as you mentioned, problem solving skills, analytical skills, these are soft technical skills which a person is either having or is not having. So he will come to know once he start doing projects. So now the next question comes from where he should do a project. So there are multiple resources on internet. There is a website which I was referring into. It is kaggle.com. And there are 2 to 3 more websites which are there, but this is the most preferred one into our community actually. So if you ask any data analyst, he will be preferring that website. You will get a ready-made data set from there. You get your data set, you start cleaning it, you start making visuals out of it, you start creating some stories, what you can make. So you will get an idea whether you know technical skills, you know technical soft skills or not. And now finally, apart from all these, a person should also have some good soft skills, like I would say communication skills, understanding people, working in a group dynamics. These are some soft skills which a person is either born with or he can also learn with. There is nothing like you can't do in this world. So I have seen people like who are really good at technical skills, but when it comes to communication, they fail. So that is their biggest hurdle in clearing an interview. So along with that, I request people to also work on their communication. Like there are people who argue that okay, I'm from so and so part of India and I don't know English. So why is it a hindrance to me? And I only answer to them is, see, we Indians are working in IT industry, and whatever IT businesses we get is either from the Indian IT giants or it is from foreign world. So if you're dealing with some client, obviously they will be preferring the official language, that is English. So if you don't know how to communicate in that, you can be into this field, but you'll not be able to grow at a faster pace. So that is why people should work on their English also. So the question comes again is how do we learn this language? The basic funda that I used to follow was just talk to your friends, your relatives, whoever knows English. Even if you know the broken English, you start talking and you'll ultimately get some confidence. The confidence is the key here. If you have confidence even to speak in a broken English or broken Hindi language, you'll learn any language in this world. Okay, that's the beauty of our country. We have so many languages you can learn at a rapid pace. Along with that, finally, people should focus on making projects. Without projects, I have seen people knowing the skills, but since they haven't done any projects, they are not getting any interview call. So that is where
how many projects are enough? Like how many projects should a person focus on, especially if he's a fresher, he's just out of college, or maybe even he's from an industry that is completely different from the data analytics industry, right? So he will be a newbie. So for a newbie, how many projects are enough so that he can land a good data analytics job?
Yeah, sure. Shivani, so this question I would like to answer into two parts. First part, as you said, how many projects are enough? I would say there is no maximum limit, but the minimum is actually 2 projects. Whatever the skills you have learned, you make at least 2 projects in each of them, and you start projecting it on your LinkedIn profile and onto your resume. So, and the second thing is here is a very special thing which I found in myself and during this course, like was if people are from some particular background, let's say there are some people from teaching background, they are coming into this industry, so their core industry was teaching, so they should focus on making more projects in teaching related things like student enrollment ratio in India, okay, how the student migrated during COVID time to digital and all those things. These are some basic topics which I'm telling. There are much more if they find. So and let's say there is another industry, people who are switching from IT to IT. Okay, let's say some people they are in software industry, now they are coming into data analytics. So they should focus more on softwares, like what kind of softwares are mostly used in the entire world, something on that line. So once you make projects in your domain basis, so that gives you confidence to express yourself in front of interview. So these are 2 things which people should focus on.
Okay, understood. So Aman, apart from the technical skills that you should learn, you should also be focusing on making good projects, and also make sure that you are good at soft skills so that you are able to clear the HR round as well, right? Because a lot of the companies do want to see how this person is going to behave in a team, and if he has that certain qualities what they're looking for or not. So if you can communicate all of that in English, that too, that is even better. But then you should be able to confidently talk what you have done so far and what are your plans and about yourself as well. Great.
Exactly.
Aman, so one more thing that I would like to ask from you is that a lot of the freshers who are planning to get into this industry, or maybe whoever is in the learning phase, what all resources can they follow, or the kind of websites they can keep a track of, or maybe upcoming libraries or any other software that is coming in, which is very much relevant in the data analytics industry. If you can share all of that with us, it would be very helpful for the viewers.
Yeah, sure, Shivani. So the first major part that I was giving more emphasis on was practice. So the first question comes is from where you need to practice. So I was mostly working on hackerrank.com. There you can work on SQL, you can work on your Python, you can work on other languages as well. PHP is there, Java is there. So once you know the basics, you can start working on these websites for your live practice. And the best part of this website is after certain questions or certain milestones, you start getting badges and you start earning some ranks. So these things you can straight away put it into your LinkedIn profile. So that was one thing. So that along with that, there are many more websites, but I was mostly focusing on 3 things. One was HackerRank, one was LeetCode, and the third one was edabit.com. So these are some free resources where you can work. And along with that, there are other websites which are paid one. Okay, after certain limit you have to pay something. So that was again the thing. So these 3 websites will cover mostly everything, but for Excel, if you just Google it up, there are many more things. Like excelsolution.com is one of the free websites where you can practice, you can learn and practice. Then for learning resources also, there are many more websites. Like the top one that I was referring to was W3 Schools, khanacademy.com. So there are multiple things which if I start telling you, it will take another 20-30 minutes. So these are some overview that I gave to the viewers that are watching us. And along with that, I request everybody to have to be active on LinkedIn, because the resources that we get on LinkedIn are much more better than searching on Google or some other things. And I would ask people to like follow people who are already there in this industry, learn from their post. They keep on posting some new things. You get an idea, okay, what are the new trends that are coming into this industry. So like as you asked me, like how people will get to know that what are the latest technologies and trends comes. So it is impossible to 24/7 sit on internet and getting info about that. So the best part and the shortcut here is to be on LinkedIn. I would say here, like people spend their half of the day on Instagram or watching reels or something. Instead of that, if they give even the 20% towards LinkedIn, they will gain some knowledge, and also it will be better for their career.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. You mentioned that people should, if they want to stay updated what is happening in the industry, they can keep a track of things on LinkedIn. The people follow the people who are on who are already in this industry, and that way they will be updated. But can you like tell us how important is it really to actually be that updated? Because like you mentioned, for a beginner or for anyone who's just starting, only Excel, SQL, and all these basic things are first required, right? Or do you think that is enough for anyone to just get started with, or because the industry is so ever evolving, how big of a difference will it make if you don't keep yourself that updated with the new trends that are coming?
Yeah. Okay. So just to answer this question, I would give you an example of one of my interview. Like one of the interviewer, he asked me something that was like in the market, but I didn't know about it. So he asked me, okay, Aman, do you know what is this and how does it work? I said, sir, I heard about this, but I don't know like how to do work on that, like how to make projects or anything. So like he just gave me a smile on that, and he told me one thing, that Aman, if you want to get into this industry, you should at least know what are the new technologies that are coming into it.
Okay.
So
it is
yeah, it is very important, I would say, Shivani, because see, if you don't know what are the new technologies coming, and let's say you are working only on the outdated technologies, and the industry is evolving very fast, and if you go to the industry to get a job with the old set of skills, obviously they will not accept you. So like I'll tell you now, currently all the IT industry, they are slowly moving towards cloud, because it is called cloud is called the next gen tech. Like even you can do all your basic stuff on your cloud environment. So one more thing, like I didn't add initially, I would say here that along with the skill that I mentioned earlier, if someone is having cloud knowledge, that will be an extra edge for him. Like he can either start with AWS or Azure or GCP. GCP is new to the market, so like people can start with AWS because AWS is the market king right now. So once he learns that AWS cloud tech, he can easily migrate it to Azure, Microsoft Azure, or he can go to Google Cloud Platform. So once you know these things, the same thing, like let's say you know the Excel. So the same Excel, you can do it on this cloud platform. So once you know this kind of thing, you can obviously mention them in your resume. And once you have these extra things which are not available easily on any of the resume, obviously you have better chance of getting an interview call and also clearing it.
Understood. Cool, Aman. So last thing that I would like to ask from you would be, so now that we have discussed how a person can actually start with this preparation, what are things he needs to take care of, and projects and everything, we have discussed everything. So now let's talk about how a person can actually start looking for jobs in this industry, right? Because we have heard of all the websites and everything, but if you can share like few useful insights on how a person can actually start looking for jobs in data analytics industry, that would be great. I mean, you can also share some basically can shed some light on how a person can also land a job through LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is also very useful, and a lot of people think that they can just ask for referral, and that I'm sure there might be a right way to ask for referral. So you can just share how a person can start looking for jobs in data analytics, and if LinkedIn is also one of the options, then what is the right way to look for jobs on LinkedIn as well?
Sure, Shivani. I was just waiting for this question to be answered because this is the most important question, I think, of this podcast. See, people learn the skills, and the problem is they're not getting any jobs, and they feel like market is down. So I would like to assure everybody that market is not down. Market is just a bit slow, and they are just a bit skeptic that okay, people who are coming, are they good products or not? Because you know the skills, and even your neighbor know the skills. So what is the thing that you know extra? So that decides whether you get a call or not. Okay, so now coming to actual answer of this, I will ask everybody to make a good resume first of all. And nowadays, you know that there are some AI tools as well which helps you in making a good resume. Let's say you don't have any contact of any good resume writer or someone who can cross check your resume. So you can make use of this free AI tools which will help you in getting a proper word-to-word resume. So once you make this resume, coming to resume first, wait, I'll tell you what all thing that you need to put in your resume. See, the main problem that we do is we write even the things that are irrelevant. Okay, so the first thing to get a job is you should know which is your target company. Let's say, for example, you are targeting Microsoft or Google. Okay, so first go to internet, you just search what kind of job they are giving it out. So there is a profile called job description. Once you read that job description, you will come to know some keywords. Let's say they are looking for an Excel developer or SQL developer or something on that line. Okay, so those keywords should also be there into your resume. See, why I'm saying these keywords? Because there are n number of resumes that are coming to these industries, okay, and they don't have that much time to go one by one manually. So there are softwares where they just put it into your resume, and if the software selects your resume, you will be interviewed, otherwise you will be not. So what is the key here is to get into that software's what you call screening area. So your resume should have those keywords. Okay, once your resume have those keywords, it should not be that much that software believes that it's a spam. So it should be some, like, let's say your paragraph is of 4 lines, okay, talking about you. So in those 4 lines, at least 5 to 6 times there should be that keyword. Let's say you want a data analyst job. So there should be some keywords like data modeling, ETL or something like that. So these keywords will enhance your resume first thing. Then second things coming here is, as I said, you should order your skills. You should not go with the fancy words in the market, AI, deep learning and all these, if you don't know. If you are very simple, you know Excel perfectly, no issues, you just put advanced Excel in the top. Okay, if you are very good at visualization, you just put some Tableau, Power BI, whatever you know. And based on these projects, you should do based on these skills, you should also do at least 2 projects. So the next question comes, like, if for, let's say we have 5 skills, and for each 5 skills, if you're doing 2 projects, that comes 10 projects. You can't mention all of them on single resume. So there comes a simple solution. You either put your top 2 projects which you have highly confident of, otherwise you create a separate website, or you just create a folder where you can put all this. That will be your portfolio link. So that link straight away you can just put it into your resume, and that will help you. Like once a recruiter lands on your resume, to just see your work, he can straight away go to that hyperlink. So that is way number 2. And then coming to way number 3, there is a section in resume which actually people don't know to use it of much, is actually the interest section. Under interest, people will write singing, dancing, eating, all those things. But these are not bad things actually. But see, every part of your resume should help you in getting a job, right? So I believe, like, why not using this section as well? So even in this section, you can put such hobbies which are actually related to technical. Like what I put was, I have put that I love reading news on green technology. So that was a fancy word as well. Plus it was my genuine interest. Like on YouTube, if you see my YouTube playlist, you will find almost every second video is related to something on green technology. So like that gives an idea to the recruiter that okay, fine, this person is actually interested into this field and he can make a change here. So obviously they, even if they want to deselect you, they will have that interest. Okay, why not give him a chance to at least for the interview? So these
Yes.
things you can just keep it in your mind. Okay, then comes
So
your
whatever niche interest anyone has in any specific technology or
exactly.
anything which is different, you should just mention about that so that it also reflects some uniqueness in your interest, and then you can also talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, anything you can write. See, what I was telling here is ki, okay, you have learned these skills, and if you don't know how to project it in front of the interviewer, obviously you'll not get a call. Okay, so this was one part of the thing that I said is your resume. Now coming to second thing, like you said, how people will land a job based on LinkedIn. So coming to LinkedIn profile, one common mistake that I've seen is people need a job in IT city. Okay, let's say I'll take it as Hyderabad. People need a job in Hyderabad, but they are sitting at some remote town of this India, and under their profile they'll write that name. Okay, I'll not name something, otherwise people get offended. Let's take anything as normal. Let's say, okay, I'm in Hyderabad, and let's say there is a nearby district, Kurnool. So people need a job in Hyderabad, and if they're writing under your profile section that you are in Kurnool and Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, etc. So let's say I'm a recruiter. If I need some people who are currently present at Hyderabad, obviously your profile gets filtered out based on those keywords, since you have not written that Hyderabad word. So the first tip here that I'll give on LinkedIn is people should write that location where they actually want to work. Either it can be Pune, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, whatever they want. Okay, first thing. Second thing, LinkedIn also gives you a section called as About section. Under About section, you can just write about yourself in an, you call it as uncontrolled manner. Like you should have that keywords there also. Let's say you are a data analyst. Like if you see my profile, I haven't updated after the job. But if you see that old profile also, you will have those keywords like data analyst will be there, problem solving ability, okay, analytical skill. These are some keywords. So once recruiters start searching you, there are millions of people, and if they want to filter it out, you get filtered out based on these keywords. So that keywords crux has to be in your mind. Like whatever you're doing, you should do based on keywords. Okay, coming to all other sections as well, if you're putting these keywords, your profile will be shortlisted very fast. Once your profile is shortlisted, you get calls straight away. Like I got around, out of 9 attempts, I got 3 calls from LinkedIn. Okay. Unfortunately, I could not clear. That was the issue with my resume, as I said. But I got genuine calls from 3 companies. So apart from that, what you can do, you can follow people who are already into this industry. Okay, once you are doing some project, put it on LinkedIn and use hashtags. Under hashtags also again comes a proper keyword. Like I don't believe like I should tell these things or not, because people are more active on Instagram and Twitter. They know what this hash keywords will do. If you use the proper thing, your message goes to the proper person where you want to highlight yourself. So what I did was, let's say I was targeting Google at that time. So I was using that Google in the hash word. Like I used to write hash Google. So whoever is in Google or whoever is reading Google News, they will come to know that, okay, this person has done such work on this project. Let's see what his works are. They will review your work. They will give you some insights which you can improve upon. So these things will actually help you to expand your network. Once your networking is strong, obviously you'll land up a job.
Perfect. That is amazing advice, Amman. So I guess that will be all from our side. I hope you guys found it really helpful. Is there anything else, Amman, you would like to cover, or any piece of advice you would want to give to aspiring data analysts out there who want to start their journey?
Yeah, one small thing that I would like to tell people are, see, there are many people which I come across on LinkedIn, and they say that, Bhaiya, we are having year gap. Like we graduated some years before, and till now we didn't do anything. We wasted our years on UPSC preparation or government jobs, etc. But one small piece of advice is, see guys, there is nothing waste in this life. Whatever you do in your life is actually your experience. When you move backward, you will find that everything is falling into place perfectly. So don't lose hope. Have faith in yourself. Keep working, keep churning yourself. Okay, your day will come. Just don't lose hope, because we Indians are really hardworking, but once the result doesn't come quickly, we find that okay, we are doing something wrong, but that's not it. You just keep making good friends, have good networks, and follow the advice that I said, that Shivani said, and ultimately you'll land up a job.
Great, that's great, Amman. Thank you so much for this amazing session. It was really good having you here. That is it for today's video, guys. I hope you all liked it with Amman. Please like and share the video, and don't forget to comment down below your queries so that I will be covering them in our next video. And if you guys have any interest in pursuing a career in data analytics, you can check out our course, which is open for anyone from any background. You don't really have to be from a tech background to go for it. Just go to our website and check out. We have top IT instructors, and they all are from amazing colleges, and you will be working on your problem solving abilities. You will be learning the same skill set which Amman has talked about, Excel, SQL, and Power BI, Tableau, all of that. So do make sure you check out our course. And if you guys are new to our channel, then don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the notification for all our videos. Thank you so much.